Hey y'all, it's August the 22nd, 2017. Y'all, I wanted to talk to y'all about some stuff. It's been a reoccurring theme here on this channel, but we haven't really discussed it recently. And so y'all, I wanted to dive back into the topic of autism. Alright, and such other topics such as autism awareness, and there's also autism acceptance out there. These are two movements that are absolutely retarded, but let me explain why. We've covered this previously in a number of videos where we discuss, for example, just how diverse the population of autistic people is. Right? What I'm willing to suggest to you right now is that it's much more diverse than you think. It's actually much more widespread than you think it is. It's very expansive, the amount of people who have autism, right, or show signs of autism. Before we dive into it, as we've stated previously, and I don't know who's still out there doing it, but there's common practice to spread what's called autism awareness or autism acceptance through rallies or through walks, maybe jogs sometimes for autism awareness and acceptance. Little parades that people had, such as Autism Speaks, for example. That's an organization that's very unsavory, alright, where they do walks. A lot of money is transacted. The end, probably. I mean, I'm sure they do some good stuff. They better do it. It's a good idea to do some good stuff with all the money that's been accumulated. Alright, that's what certain people refer to as autism awareness and acceptance, or part of it. It's really not. It couldn't be further from the truth. But what we kind of figure out is that, I don't know what term you want to use because they're both pretty vague, as far as autism awareness and autism acceptance. Kind of need to decide what that looks like. Is it parades where everybody's wearing cool t-shirts and taking selfies? Is that what it is? Alright? Or could it very well have to entail simply finding out what the autistic person is focused on and harnessing that energy? Alright? What I mean to say is, autistic people, or people with autism, however you want to say it, there's a lot of them. Not every autistic person is going to agree completely with every other autistic person. In fact, that's not going to happen. Not every autistic person is going to like being around another autistic person. Technically, they're not in the same group. That's why when you group them together, it's really like herding cats. Alright? It's not going to happen, really. Not good. Alright? There's a lot of different autistic people, and we'll discuss the vastness of the spectrum probably later on. Alright? But there's a lot, and they just so happen to have common denominators. I mean, they're all special and unique in their own way, and at the same time, what is the common denominator to autistic people? And it becomes very clear just if you're around them for a little while. They have a focus on something. Whatever it is. It might make all sort of sense. It might be science or mathematics or this and that. It could be anything. They might have a focus of rubbing a toy car on their head like this. Right? I mean, it can vary so much. What is their focus? You find out what that is, and you harness the energy from that. You get productivity from that. And you're going to find that people with this autism, they'll do a better job than anyone else at what it is that they're doing. Alright? Regardless, they will set records at what it is they're doing. Alright? When you find out what it is they're good at, and let them just go ahead and dive into it. Alright? This is the way in which, one of the ways that you can harness the extreme, unwavering focus, the steely focus of people with autism. Therefore, you accept them, you're very aware of them, perhaps you even pay them lots of money to do what it is that they're doing for you. Alright? And meanwhile, y'all reach for the stars. Alright? That is autism awareness and acceptance, to be honest with you. Alright? And there's some people that actually do this. They seek out, there's certain companies out there that'll seek out autistic people and harness their energy. They'll make mad money. And so they pay the autistic people a lot of money. Alright, so that all being said, I want to discuss a young man who, he came up in the news maybe not even a couple weeks ago, but he's kind of old news at this point. James Damore. Alright, if that rings a bell, the guy from Google then got fired. You remember his report? You remember all the people were talking all sort of mess about James Damore and his report. Meanwhile, they would not read his report out loud. No, not at all. Alright, and for those who are unfamiliar, James Damore, he went ahead and he wrote a report. He's an engineer over there at the Google. He wrote a report for them. Alright, talking about, this is statistically how I think that we could make Google better and stronger and make more money. AKA, he's got a steely focus on, okay, we get these statistics and we consider this and we do this, and I think Google is going to be much better, much stronger, and make more money. James Damore, he made a report like that, in which he did state that, generally speaking, not every time, it's not a rule. He made specific to say that's not every time, it's not a rule, but generally speaking, male brains do this real good, women brains do this real good. Let's harness their energy. Basically, this is the entire report, to summarize it for you, in case if you didn't hear. He said, men brains do this real good, women brains do this real good. We could use them synergistically, and we could make more money, more and more money. We'll be more powerful. All right. To which point, James Damore got immediately fired. I mean, people came off of vacation. His boss's boss came off of vacation to fire him before the sun came up off of this here report. That was after they found out about it. All right. A lot of people didn't know about it. They found out about it. James Damore's fired. Right, and the reason that is so significant is, if you, and I left the link below to the one I was watching recently, but there's any number of interviews out there now with James Damore. He's gone on a lot of places, talked to people. Alright, you watch the video, this video or any other video, it's going to take you about, I don't know, 10 seconds to figure out and realize that James Damore absolutely is autistic. Like, the thing is, a lot of people are autistic, you might not even, you can't really tell. But James Damore is one of those people, yeah, you can tell, visibly, automatically, off top. There's no questioning it, there's no denying it. I'm not making fun of James Damore. I consider him my autistic brother. Alright? What I'm saying is he's clearly autistic, alright? For everybody's face to see. What Google did way back when they hired James Damore is they said, oh, well, you have autistic tendencies. Oh, man, you can get down with statistics. Oh, man, you can make us some money. You can be like a little robot machine. This autistic energy that you got, you're going to make us money. You're going to make us all sort of money. Go ahead and hire you on. That's what they did. They accepted autism. This is what Google did. All right, for everybody out there, social justice warrioring, Google went and they hired James Damore for his autistic abilities. Alright, I don't know how much they were paying James Damore. I can tell you that, according to the internet, back in 2012, alright, 5 whole years ago, the average engineer over there at Google is being paid $90,000+ a year. I can tell you that. So the thing is, they were harnessing, and they've been harnessing. This is how Google gains more power, and God bless them. They were accepting autism. They were being aware of autism. They're taking the powers of autistic people and making money with it. And they're paying their engineers $90,000+ a year. That's pretty sweet. I mean, I don't know how much student loan debt they might be in, but other than that, $90,000 is pretty damn sweet. Alright, so they're paying James Damore that. They're giving him all sort of money. They're harnessing his autistic powers. They're loving every minute of it. James Damore, in his own autistic way, in the way that he cannot disregard facts, in the way that James Damore cannot disregard statistics. He cannot disregard numbers. Alright? He cannot disregard, at the same time, man brain thinks a little bit different from a woman brain. Alright? They come together, they make something happen that's magical, and they create all sort of inventions and things like that. James Damore, he could not deny it. Also, he cannot hide the fact that he's off in his own, whatever you would say, world, like we are and stuff. He's doing his own thing. He cannot deny the truth when the truth smacks him in the face. Alright, so at the end of the day, I don't know if Google's going to wind up paying for it. You got to understand, Google is harnessing autism. They're accepting it, and they're being all sort of aware of it. However, when an autistic person goes rogue, you'll get absolutely fired. Get out of here. You're not welcome here. Men and women are different, kind of. You're not welcome at Google. That's what happened. They stopped accepting autism. Google stopped accepting autism. They'll accept whatever autism they want, whatever autism they don't want. Get out of here, dude. You don't belong at Google. Men and women are different. Get out of here, you hateful bigot, KKK member James Damore. That's what Google said. Alright? And meanwhile, people are still going to probably have parades and rallies and get all sort of money for it, talking about autism acceptance and awareness. We're not really talking about that anymore. We're off on some other trip. Anyways, we're balls deep in the tribulation. It's August the 22nd, 2017. I'll holler at y'all.